Hello all, I'm back after a while here, as you've noticed, with a few notices as to this channel. For like the nth time, I'm going to reform this to suit my interests and to suit what I want to do. And lately I've always been interested in astronomy, and lately I've been discovering the world of amateur astronomy. Though clubs aren't so popular here in my area, and there is nearly none, there is not a single astronomy club here. So I decided I would propagate my interest on the internet, and so I decided here on my channel I would upload things such as telescope reviews and observation logs occasionally, though. So I plan to make this channel an occasional side project there. So today I will be doing my first telescope review of the Finder Scope 66 magnification telescope. That's a toy, by the way. So this telescope comes with a tripod, an aluminium tripod, which of course it is on a altitude azimuth mount, which is pretty good for beginners. In fact, it's the best type of mount for beginners in my opinion. I started out with this thing. So the tripod does not have an accessory tray. Funnily enough, it's not extendable. This thing is 20 centimeters tall. The altitude azimuth mount, so when you unlock the altitude azimuth mount, basically is just like a camera tripod. So when you unlock the azimuth knob, you have the altitude knob. Sorry, you get to move your telescope in the altitude, right? This controls your altitude, and this knob here, this three propeller shaped knob here, when you unlock this is your azimuth. This controls where you point your telescope relative to the Earth's equator, right? So this is pretty strong aluminium. It's very nice finish. I like the matte finish there. It's very unstable, though. The legs do seem a bit, reinforced, and it isn't a very stable tripod. It moves around a lot. It really doesn't require a lot of effort to move this thing and to destroy your image or whatever you're looking at, or move it and lose your object, or so that's the tripod there. Pretty unstable, but it's okay. The telescope itself is a refractor with a focal length of 400 millimeters and a diameter, so an aperture of 40 millimeters. So that's about 1.5 inch, 2 inches. It comes with a dust cap, not a sunshade, unfortunately, so you won't be able to observe the sun with this thing without a solar filter. You've got yourself a Finder Scope, which is okay, but it's not very properly collimated. It's not aligned with the actual, the tube of the telescope. So whatever you look at here, you're not going to really find, especially if it's faint. You can see it here, but you won't be able to find with even your lowest power eyepiece. This thing comes obviously with a pretty rigid star diagonal. However, there is no focus knob. There's no, of course there's a focus knob. Sorry, I forgot the name there. The focus tightening knob. So it's pretty easy to go out of focus, just a small, bump or whatever. This part, the focus part, moves around a lot. So if I put it here, this moves around a lot, so you can lose, it causes vibrations, and in this telescope it takes around 5 to 10 seconds for vibrations to go away. So it's not very good for astrophotography. In fact, this thing isn't even suited for any of that. It comes with two lenses. And a 20 millimeter lens here. This one's pretty wide angle, and a 6 millimeter lens, which makes things very dim. This one here, and they both and you can put the one that you're not using in this cool box here, which is waterproof, out of plastic. So you can put your used one. Obviously, if you're using one, you put it in here. You tighten the knob. And the one you're not using, if there's bad weather or humidity, for example, you put it in the box and you close the box when you're not using it. So that's there. So yeah, it's not a very good telescope. You've got all the details are given to you here, including a warning to never look at the sun through a telescope like that. But yeah, that's the telescope there. So overall, I think I would give this telescope, on my scale out of 10, I would give it an 8. But I would use it, and I would recommend it for viewing of the brighter celestial objects, such as the moon and its craters. This thing has pretty cool views of the moon. You cannot really zoom into individual craters because it gets really dark, and you have to use the 6mm lens here. However, with the 20mm lens, it gives really nice crisp views of the moon, and maybe if you get lucky, you can take a few good photos. It's also good for landscape viewing, but only short distance landscape viewing, so not 5 kilometers, not targets that are 5 kilometers away, because again, you would have to use this lens, and things get pretty dark and dim in that lens, so it's not very good. And that is all caused by the very low aperture of this telescope here. So yeah, but that's my review of this Opticon 66 magnification telescope. I received it as a present. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.